You may have just recognized that as Black Angels, a well-known piece by George Crumb, where the string players have a multitude of other instruments that they must play as well. We'll be looking at Crumb's Magical Book 1, which is the second work in Crumb's Lorca cycle, a collection of song cycles that George Crumb set to the poetry of Federico Garcia Lorca, a Spanish artist, musician, theater director, and poet. Crumb is known for his artistic handwritten scores, which on their own stand as a work of art. Crumb usually specifies that all of the musicians read from the score. As with most pieces by Crumb, it is necessary that you practice some type of technique outside your normal idiomatic playing. Book 1 is scored for soprano, vibraphone, and double bass, and similarly to Lorca's poetry, features the themes of death and nature. The original text is in Spanish, though we also have some phonetic sounds that Crumb has created specifically for this piece. In this madrigal, the vocalist is responsible for 19 different symbols, on top of learning the notes and articulations throughout the piece that are not quite the easiest. In the front matter of the score, we have explanations of symbols, some other details, and we also have a setup diagram for percussion. We can see that Crumb requests for the vibraphone to be between the vocalist and the bass player. The vibraphone lines up with the bass and the vocalist more often than the bass and the vocalist line up together. Movement 1 is titled, "To See You Naked is to Remember the Earth." This is the first line of Federico Garcia Lorca's poem, Casita del Amor Tendida. Now, I'm sure you can tell that I can't speak Spanish, but I did the best that I could. Let's look at some of the instructions that Crumb notates in the score for Movement 1. He writes instructions for articulations, pitch adjustments, and even tuning the double bass. The contrabass's lowest string is tuned down to E flat, and then must compensate for all the notes that are notated on the E flat string. There's an indication to strike the damper bar of the vibraphone so that all of the plates vibrate. We have notes beamed together across staves, as well as staves that completely stop, like here at the end of Movement 1. Movement 2 is titled, "They Do Not Think of the Rain, and They've Fallen Asleep," where the text comes from a poem from a collection that was published after Lorca's death. The scenes of rain are notated twice throughout this movement. We have Rain Death Music 1 and Rain Death Music 2. We have the singing of percussive syllables that imitates the rain falling. We also have vocal sounds that represent wind rising and falling. Other ways that Crumb notates rain falling is the vibraphone is playing with their fingernails, playing with a very light triangle beater with soft sticks, and playing harmonics on the vibraphone. For Rain Death Music 2, Crumb notates pianissimo, and also writes that Rain Death Music 2 should be incredibly soft, almost inaudible. Movement 3 is titled, "The Dead Wear Mossy Wings." The first line of Lorca's poem,
Gacela del Niño Muerto.
a poem depicting a boy that dies every evening. Crumb notates intense whispers traded between all of the three performers to represent the voices of the dead.